Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to give you guys a little update here on what's been going on. This is pretty much a brake, I guess, update on what I've done. I've got all new stainless brake lines, and actually got stainless fuel line as well. There's only one fuel line on this 70 truck. A 1/3/8 fuel line goes to the back of the cab, because the fuel tank's still in the back of the cab. I do have the other line. This is the other line in stainless that actually comes from the tank and goes down to underneath the cab. I'm not going to do that right now. I've got stainless lines. These are the stainless lines for the rear axle. So the kit comes with that. The kit, the brake line kit, it's all stainless. It's from Inline Tube. Actually, I've gotten all these parts from different places, from LMC, online. So these older trucks, you pretty much got to grab parts wherever you can grab them. But I've used the inline tube stuff on quite a few trucks. They're not perfect, but they're pretty close. Always got to do a little tweaking to get them to fit. But pretty good. All the ends and stuff were the right size. This is like a factory kit for a long bed truck, long bed half ton with power brakes. So you can see I've got them. This was a complete kit, except for it didn't come with the lines that go from the master cylinders to the proportioning valve. I thought it was going to come with them, but it didn't. So I had to make them. I actually just made them out of some nickel copper, or copper nickel, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of made a round swoop into the proportioning valve. This is actually the factory proportioning valve that was in the truck. This has 4-wheel drums yet. I wasn't going to do a disc upgrade because I'm doing so much already. I'm barely going to get that done. So I'm just going to keep the drum for now. I got a new booster. That's an 11-inch booster. It came with the master cylinder. That's the only way I would do that. On Dad's, I sourced everything separately. It's a lot easier just to get a kit. They do have a kit with a proportioning valve, but that runs disc drum brakes. And actually, there's another assembly I probably should have got. It was about $40 more, and it was more of a factory deal. It had these brackets and everything. I think it was a power brake conversion. So if you had standard brakes, it was a power brake conversion. But all I needed was the front part. Didn't really need the other parts because I had all those parts. Anyway, I'll show you the box that this came in. I had to kind of waller out the holes, the mounting holes, to get this to fit. So this is not. It's listed as it fits 70. But it's definitely not exactly the same, because like I said, I had to waller out these holes to get it to bolt up. The spacing between here and the original master cylinder is wider. I guess that's another reason I probably, it was a good thing I made my own lines, because that was different. Like I said, this is wider on the new one. It's a little narrower on the original. This has got a 1-inch bore on the master cylinder. That's probably not ideal for drum. It's probably ideal for disc drum, but they say it'll work. I think I've heard it'll work. So it says it'll do drum brakes. So that was actually a tough stuff, brake booster combo. You can see there's the part number. So like I said, I probably would have went with the other one. Now that I've done this one, I think I would have went with the other one. But anyway, I've got it. It's installed. Now these are the original lines that connect the master cylinder to the proportioning valve. And I could have reused this one. I mean, it's kind of old and cruddy. That's why I didn't use it. I could have reused this one. But this one here, the second one, someone tore up this fitting. I had to use a vice grip to get that off. So there was no reusing this. I mean, I guess I could have tightened it up with a vice grip, but I'm not gonna. I'm trying to make this truck nice. So, and then here, as I got some nickel copper, it's 1/4 inch. And you can see I got this neat little tool here. It does a tighter bend. And you can see I can copy what the original had. You know, I can make an exact copy pretty much. I can't flare this end with a fitting on it because it's too tight. It won't fit in my flaring tool. I could have done this end. You know, I could do that end, but I can't do this end. I can't. I just can't get it in my tool. Now you say do it before you bend it. Well, then if you got a big tube nut here, you can't bend it as nice. So I've been through that. This is my flare tool. It's probably it's an old one, but I mean it works. So maybe the newer ones I could have fit. You know, maybe I could have done that. I don't know. I think I'm fine with what I did. It's not like I need the space or anything, and I think it looks fine. Okay, so I wanted to give you a look at the original brake booster master cylinder. And I believe this is original stuff. This might be a remanufactured booster because it's painted black. Not entirely sure. I'm not a Chevy truck expert, but it's got the bleeders up here. And actually, this might be it might be a remanufactured master cylinder too. This truck had some type of restoration in the past. But like I said before, this is a narrower distance between these two than the new master cylinder I got. The bolts, like I said, the back bolts, I had to kind of waller out the holes to fit that on there. But the distance between the back of this and the end of this is the same. Okay, so the one thing that's not the same is the hole right here. This hole right here. I had to make a little bushing because this hole here is a little bigger on the new booster. So that was something I didn't like. And like I said, I would probably, if I had to do it over again, I would get that other master cylinder booster combo. They call it a power brake conversion, I guess. And then you could I could have just replaced all the brackets. Would have probably saved me some time. I cleaned up mine and painted them, but if I just would have got that, I would have had the right size shaft down there and everything else. So I'll link it, guys, if I can find it. I'll link link the parts. Okay, so you can see the new lines from the proportioning valve down along the frame. I'm going to reuse the brackets. Just going to use stainless bolts to hold them in place. Like I said, all this line goes in pretty good. Just got to tweak it a little bit. I got the original block here for the front brakes there. I got to redo that. explain that to you in a second, but the brake lines come up here on this front cross member. This is the cross member. Remember, I cut the rivets out because it was loose. I got some really nice grade 8 bolts. Got some nylon lock nuts. Cranked her down. This is not going to be loose anymore. Like I said, there's the fuel line that I got running. I gotta figure out where this goes, and I'm going to secure that. But here again, I need another. I got fittings coming that are going to come through the frame here, just like the original ones. Reason I'm not using the original ones is, well, here's the line. Here's one of the lines. So, I mean, I don't really want to drive down the road with that. So I took them off, and you can't get a 70 rubber brake line for some reason. Not that I could find. LMC didn't have it. They had 71 and up, 71, 72, but that's when they went, I believe, to break front discs. So I don't think the hoses are going to be the same for the drums and the disc. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a little bit of a conversion. I bet you ain't going to be able to see it. I've got adapters on there that are going to adapt that to a -3 AN fitting. And the fittings that are going to go through the frame here are going to convert to -3 AN fittings. So how I did that was I had to get this is what I got. I got some 7/16 banjo bolts. These are 7/8 inch long, 7/16. Got some 7/16 bunch of crush washers. And then, like I said, I showed you that little adapter. It's just 7/16 banjo. It's a 90. Get my light and I'll show it to you, I guess. I got a piece of tape on it, but that's all it is. And that's a -3 AN now, with a banjo bolt going through it. So I'll be able to I'll be able to install a -3 AN hose, and I've got them actually right here. These are they're black, so they're gonna kind of blend in. I think you won't be able to spot that they're new, but they got -3 AN fittings on both sides. These are actually 23 inches. And they're Goodridge, I guess. So I got 2 of them. I got some Willwood. These are kind of what they're going to be like, that go through the frame there. It'll focus. Only the new ones I got coming have threads, and I'll be able to thread it onto the frame. This was too small of a fitting. This was 3/8. I believe I need 7/16. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do there. I'm just going to convert that. Hopefully these drums are going to work good for a few years. That's you know, I don't know if they work really good. I might keep them on there longer, but yeah, we'll see about a disc brake conversion later on. Like I said, I got so much going on right now, just trying to get this thing running. Got a bunch of plugs in the firewall where there's holes. I'm trying to plug all the holes, so if I wash the engine bay out with a hose, that I'm not getting water inside the cab. That right here, this right here, this was the boot. This is the place where the clutch pedal, the lever come out through. So I just cut that off, and I took a piece of rubber and I kind of glued it together with some RTV and made a plug. Probably should have bought a new boot. I don't know if they must have a new boot. Could have got a new boot, would have looked a little better, but once the engine's in here and everything's in there, you can't hardly see down there anyway, so it don't matter. But I just want all the holes plugged. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to show you. This is the little, they call it an axle vent tube. And this is what I picked up. Now, I don't know if this is like, this probably is not like OEM what they had. But anyway, there it is. You know, it's got the little vent so water can't get in. Then I got a new hose going to the axle. I'm going to do the same thing for the rear end, because like I said, I believe this was plugged before. So that's new. Okay, so just want to give you a look underneath here at the new lines. I did detail the inside of the frame here, just because I didn't want to spray my stainless lines again. So there they go. I could not get the brake line or the fuel line to fit into that fitting there. You see it kind of goes up and around the shock where the shock's gonna bolt. But anyway, it follows pretty good down here. It goes into the clips there. And like I said, I kind of detailed the inside of the frame here. And then it goes up there, and then I got a new hose for the back, or the rear axle. I can get my light hung up here. And then I've got this here. This truck's got a 2.5 inch lift on it. And if I put it in the factory spot, it kind of really tugs on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little bracket, and I'm going to bring it up so it you know, is up a little higher so it doesn't pull. It only pulls on the hose when the axle's at full droop, but I still don't want it. I don't want it pulling on it that hard. So I'm going to do that once I get. I'm probably going to detail this rear axle. I got a new cover. I got new brake lines for it. So this side might be leaking, so I got new seals too. I might I'll pull the drum off, see if it's leaking. Someone might have already done it, but I'll pull it off, check it out, and yeah, we'll get this rear axle all nice too. Again, I got to do the vent hose. I mean, you can see what they got in here. Actually, there's nothing in here, so if water and anything, dirt, bugs can crawl right into the axle. So it's about ready to rip off anyway. So I'll put a new hose on there, get it bolted up, get a nice vent top so stuff can't fall into it. Get some new fresh fluid in the rear axle. But yeah, this is the bottom side, guys. Another thing that's nice about doing all the lines right now is everything's out of the way. All the mounts, transmission, engine. So it's really easy to get all the lines in place. I've never been able to do that. Every time I've done new lines, I've always had to work around stuff. Even Dad's Camaro had to work around stuff. Stuff was already installed. So it's nice to do it right now with everything out of the way. Okay, so I finally got the final parts that I needed to finish up the braking system here. I've got a Russell fitting. I guess that's the part number. These were not easy to find. For some reason, they are very low on stock. Anyway, you can see it's got a big nut on it. I can't do it with one hand right here, but you can unscrew this nut and I'm going to install it. I've done this side, you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. There, this end will stick outside the frame. The -3. Got my lines, my black lines. 23 inches is what these are, going to the -3 AN fitting, the 90-degree fitting with the 7/16 banjo bolt. And by the way, that's the 7/16 flared end. Anyway, we are losing focus. Anyway, it's going to go right there. This line here is going to go to it. There's a hole. That's the original hole the hose came through. Got my line ready to go on. So I'm going to get that installed. Okay, so I got my light out so you can actually see what's going on. But there it is. Bolted onto the frame. The line goes onto that. Goes through the frame. -3 AN fitting. My line. Another 90-degree -3 AN fitting with a 7/16 banjo into the drums, or the wheel cylinder for the drums. So that's a complete brake line system. And you can see this one, the factory's got this T. Hopefully everything's going to work out with my fitting there. I guess I'll let you know if it doesn't. But yeah, that's pretty much, like I said, the final pieces I needed to finish this up. I've got all the pieces for the rear. I got to do the rear. But before I'm going to do that, I've got to pull this off. I got to paint my proportioning valve and the bracket, and also I got to paint the master cylinder, or that thing's going to flash rust and look horrible. So now that I got everything fitted up, I can take it apart and do some painting. You can see more parts for the 70 Chevy truck. That's a rear differential cover. It's aluminum. It's kind of an old school one. And then I've got a new Lars. I'll link it. It's a power steering box. I've had bad luck with rebuilt ones, and this is a brand new one for that truck, so that's what I went with. The reason I got these hanging up here is I'm going to clear coat them. I'm going to clear coat them with a satin clear coat. I really like that cast look, and I don't really want to paint everything on the frame black. It's just going to look like I just sprayed everything black that was attached to the frame. It won't look very good. So I'm gonna, clear coat this. It'll look similar to that. It won't be shiny, but it might be a little more shiny than what it is now. And then the rear diff cover, I did the same thing with the front one. Had to do a little bit of grinding on this because this is original. I don't know how old it is, but it's really old. And you can expect to find these old ones on eBay, and you have to do a little bit of work to them, grind them down. They've had a little bit of damage, mostly on the bottom. Usually there's some damage. And then to get this kind of an old look, I take a wire wheel on a drill, and I just kind of wire wheel it to kind of even out the finish and give it kind of an old school type of look to it. You can buy these new black, and you can buy them with the fins polished out, and you can buy them polished too, but finding them in this like raw cast is really hard. I was lucky to find this original old one. I think they called it something. Maybe not. I thought it was stamped somewhere with a number on it, but it might have been the other one. Anyway, you can tell it's an old one. So I'll have matching aluminum covers front and rear. So like I said, I'm going to get to it. I got to clear this. We got a storm rolling in. So I got to get the car out. And yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I've got one coat on here, and I know that looks shiny. It'll dull out. It goes on shiny and then it dulls out. The thing with this satin clear, the more you stick on, the thicker you put it on, the shinier it's going to be. If you want it to be matte, you got to just kind of lay it down in nice thin layers. If you want it a little more satin, you kind of lay it down a little thicker, kind of like normal clear coat, I guess I would say. But yeah, I'm going to use up probably the rest of the clear I have, so I don't know if I'll get 2, maybe 3 coats on this. And then we'll let her dry for a few days. I won't be doing anything with the differential cover right now, but I probably will bolt that box on the frame, because I'm getting ready to get my steering column in there. So I got to get back to it. Alrighty guys, so it's been I don't know, 4 or 5 hours now, and you can see that the shininess has gone away. It's kind of a matte finish. It's still really soft. It's you know, not dry by any means, but it's flashed, so it's not shiny. You can see it's a pretty flat finish, but it'll protect all this metal. This thing will not rust now, and it's got a really neat cast look to it. So real happy with that steering box. The steering box is going to look awesome on that frame. So I've got all new steering parts for this. I've got a new joint here, new steering column. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Kind of a update on braking system, a little bit of the fuel system. But I'll see you guys.